Pick Up Sidney, written by Natalie Higdon. Interior hallway outside audition room day. Sidney, 30, sits at the end of a row of young actresses who look just like her. She chews her thumbnail while looking at her phone. Washington State Veterinary Rehabilitation Teaching Hospital.com. The phone buzzes, mom calling. Sidney pushes ignore. Text from mom, I really need to talk to you. A woman opens the door. A young actress, face red from tears, exits.
Sidney, we're ready for you.
Interior audition room moments later.
Carl, I didn't wake you, did I? I need to tell you something. I have cancer. The real bad kind. And it's not looking good. I just wanted you to know that I love you.
Sidney cries on cue, softly at first. Then guttural. Her talent is raw. A casting assistant blithely reads from a script.
We zoom in on Chloe's perfect ass. She's hot but doesn't know it. How could someone who looks so good have a cancer that's so bad?
One day, you're gonna look back and
A director clears his throat. Sidney freezes mid-cry. The director doesn't look up from his phone.
Okay, thanks.
The casting assistant walks Sidney out.
Any feedback?
You need new headshots and a new reel and an actual website.
Okay, if I come back with all of that...
And don't ever wear those pants again.
The door slams. Sidney's jaw drops. Frame freezes on screen. Meet Sidney. Interior emergency room night. An overworked nurse in her 40s turns to an overly energetic, for this time of night resident, Michael, 20s.
First night here?
Yeah, this is just like Grey's Anatomy. Can't wait to save some lives.
The nurse rolls her eyes and slaps a medical chart against his chest.
Bay 2.
Cut to, Michael opens a curtain. Diamond, 40s, in a gold lame cocktail dress, struggles to sit up in bed.
So, Diamond, it says here you had 7 Red Bull and vodkas, plus possibly a gas station corn dog, and now you have stomach pain.
Diamond pukes on Michael's scrubs. Screen freezes on shocked Michael. On screen, meet Michael, Sidney's half-brother. I actually feel better now. Exterior golf course day. Mark, 60, swings at a ball and shields his eyes to see where it lands. Screen freezes. On screen, meet Mark, Sidney's stepdad, Michael's dad, orthodontist. Mark clutches his chest and collapses. On screen, recently deceased. Exterior... Exactly. Exterior, Cheap Sigs parking lot. Day, 1983. Mom, 20s, with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth, buckles 1-year-old Sidney into a car seat in the back. She kicks the door shut and starts the car with a wrench. Sidney cries.
Oh, honey, it's okay.
Mom digs around in the cluttered floorboard and pulls out a plastic shopping bag and hands it to Sidney.
Here you go, Sidney. Play with that.
Screen freezes. On screen, Sidney and Michael's mom, 1983. Interior church day, 1990. A camera flashes as mom, 30, and with a glamorous makeover, kisses Mark at their wedding. A sullen 7-year-old Sidney stomps on a bouquet. Screen freezes. On screen, an arrow points to mom's tummy. Michael, 1990. Exterior Pacific Coast Highway day. Sidney stands outside her car looking at the smoking engine. A mechanic leans under the hood.
Looks like it's your alternator. You're gonna have to get it replaced.
How much does that cost?
About $2,000 plus the tow.
Plus the tow?
Sidney gets a text. On screen, checking balance, negative $585. Text from mom, honey, are you okay? Sidney tosses the phone in her bag and yanks out of her car a swimsuit, 1 sneaker, a Buffalo Wild Wings server polo.
Hey, you can't just leave your car.
I'm not.
But you're...
It's not my car.
Sidney walks away.
It isn't even worth $2,000.
Later, Sidney, sweating profusely, walks down the highway carrying a bulging plastic hamper. Interior Laura's apartment night. Laura, 40s, think Juliette Lewis in a caftan. Yeah. Stands over a real sex style class in her living room. The students, all middle-aged couples, smear food on their bodies.
Good job, Henrietta. Really smell the salad dressing. Think how it feels on your nipples.
Sidney opens the door. The lock catches. Laura dashes over to it.
Hey!
What are you doing here?
You said I could stay with you.
Oh, God, did I? When?
This morning. My apartment flooded?
I totally forgot. Oh, good job, Louis. Get in there with that Hershey's.
Louis, a banker in his 60s, pours chocolate on his head.
Do you have somewhere else
I'll be
to...
fine.
Sidney's phone rings. The class looks at the door, distracted. On Sidney's phone, Mom calling.
It's okay, class. Let's take this moment to explore the sensation of ripe avocado on our perineum.
Laura mounts to Sidney, I have to go, and shuts the door. Sidney storms down the hall and answers.
Mom, what?
Cut to interior, a perfect suburban kitchen day. Mom cries as she cuts stars out of Jell-O.
Honey, are you okay?
Intercut, exterior apartment hallway day.
Yes, why are you calling me?
Your dad died, honey.
Oh my God!
Sidney steadies herself against the wall.
In jail or was he out and...
Sid, no, Mark.
Oh. Are you okay?
Don't worry about me. I just wanted to make sure you knew and that you're okay.
I can't talk right now. I'll call you later.
I'll be at the garden club luncheon.
What?
I don't really feel up to it, but I decided to bring a dessert. Donald's already set. Listen, Michael's picking you up.
Who?
Your brother.
Why?
For the funeral. It's Friday.
Oh, God. I have so much going on right now, and I know, you know I don't fly well.
He's driving you.
To Tennessee? Mom, I cannot be trapped in a car with Michael for that long.
I was hoping not to have to bring this up, but your dad left you an inheritance that you won't receive if you aren't here on Friday.
Mark left me money?
A text pops up. Checking balance. Negative $1,023.43.
How does it keep getting lower?
What?
A second text pops up. Happy early birthday from Dental Cares. Your balance of $1,000 and $1,984.56 is now being turned over to collections. Don't forget to floss. Sidney grasps at her hair panic.
Oh my God!
A student moans loudly through the wall.
Where are you?
Use those grapes, Gilbert!
I have to go!
Okay, have a good day, honey. Love you.
Sidney picks the hamper back up and sighs, exhausted as she walks back out into the heat. Exterior apartment complex day. The sun beats down on a grungy LA apartment complex with an empty pool in the middle. Two dudes sit on the mildewy plastic chairs and smoke meth by the pool. Sidney walks by with her hamper.
Oh, what's the hurry?
Did you lose weight?
That's really inappropriate. How do you know I'm not sick?
Are you?
No.
Your tits look nice.
Also inappropriate, but thank you.
Exterior apartment complex hallway continuous. Sidney slides her key in the apartment door when she hears a low meow. She looks into the hallway and sees a scruffy-looking stray cat, Tyrone, staring back at her. Sidney crouches down.
Hey Tyrone, how you doing today? I got some jerkies.
Sidney digs through her purse. Tyrone runs toward her. She breaks off a few pieces of jerky and he gobbles them up ferociously. She notices he's holding a paw up.
What happened?
Sidney looks at his paw and sees a cut.
Oh, buddy. Let's get you home.
Moments later, Sidney holds Tyrone and knocks on an apartment door.
Hello? I have your cat. I think he cut his paw.
No answer. Sidney walks around to the balcony and peers inside. The apartment is empty and dark. Sidney looks at Tyrone, worried. He stares back up at her. Interior, Sidney and Trent's apartment day. Sidney walks in, still holding Tyrone. Fans blow under plastic sheets on the carpet. Sidney opens the bedroom door. Trent, 30s, Sidney's boyfriend, is in the middle of having sex with Amber, 20s.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Trent jumps up and covers his crotch with a sheet. Frame freezes. On-screen arrow to Trent. Meet Trent. Sidney's boyfriend, arrow to Amber. Meet Amber, not Sidney.
You said you were in Marfa with your band.
Whose cat is that?
It's Tyrone.
Look, I don't think this is working out.
Amber reaches her hand out to shake Sidney's hand.
Hi, I'm Amber.
I don't care.
Sidney zips Tyrone up in a black mesh Victoria's Secret tote bag, the kind you get free with 5 undies for $30. She grabs a duffel bag and crams her clothes inside. Trent follows her into the bathroom.
Hey, let's talk.
About what?
Sidney throws a hairdryer in the bag.
That's my hairdryer.
Sidney pulls the hairdryer out and smashes it on the ground.
There.
Sidney grabs a neck pillow off the floor.
That's mine too.
Sidney tries to rip it, then throws it in the toilet. Sidney storms into the kitchen and rips a blender from the wall.
I bought this blender.
Exterior, Sidney and Trent's apartment day. Sidney rushes out into the parking lot. Michael pulls up honking and waving. Tyrone meows in his tote bag.
Hey, Sidney!
Sidney pauses for a second, remembering Michael's loss.
Michael, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Great, can you put this in the trunk?
Sidney tosses Michael her duffel bag. Michael points to the mesh tote bag.
What's that?
It's Tyrone. Jesus, do I have to explain everything?
Trent runs out with the sheet still wrapped around his waist.
Sid, I think we should just take a break, you know? See other people. Also, the blender.
You idiot! You don't say that after I walk in on you fucking someone else.
Michael beams and holds out his hand to Trent.
Hey there! I'm Sidney's brother.
Half brother.
Hi, I'm Amber.
They all look up to see Amber topless on the balcony. Sidney hurls the blender into the back seat.
Let's go.
Michael rushes to start the car and reverse out. Sidney puts her sunglasses on and stares out the window. Tyrone meows from her lap.
Bye, Trent. Great meeting you.
Sidney folds her arms. Trent waves back. Amber waves.
Great meeting you guys too.
Trent runs after the car and waves for them to stop. Sidney looks out at him, hopeful. Her expression softens.
Yes?
I bought that blender.
Sidney grabs the blender and hurls it out of the car.
Fuck you and your stupid fucking smoothies. Go.
Michael speeds off, waving again, unfazed. Interior of Michael's car, day. Michael and Sidney drive down the highway. Michael taps on the steering wheel. Tyrone cleans himself, nestled in a blanket in the back seat. Michael looks at Sidney, then glances back at the road.
Why are you staring at me?
You look different.
Like older?
No, I don't, your hair.
You dress different.
The last time you saw me, I was in 7th grade. I don't really wear No Fear t-shirts anymore.
God.
So, how is everything?
Fine.
Are you hungry?
No.
Sidney directs all the AC vents toward her.
Mom sent us snacks.
What?
She overnighted them.
Michael reaches behind his seat to grab a tin of cookies. Sidney then eats a cookie.
What else did Mom send?
Michael rummages around the back seat.
These peas, they're organic.
Sidney dumps the freeze-dried peas into her mouth.
God, these are awful. I'd rather get pesticide cancer.
Sidney messily pours water into her mouth.
Yuck.
She also sent money for snacks, hotels, whatever.
Michael pops open the glove compartment to reveal an envelope stacked with cash. Sidney grabs it.
I'll hold on to this.
Michael's phone buzzes. He glances at it. It buzzes again.
Who keeps texting you?
No one.
Okay.
Exterior gas station day. Michael fills up while Sidney sits in the passenger seat and stares at her phone.
I'm really excited to spend time with you and hear what you've been up to.
Uh-huh.
You were great in that show where you played the dead dancer in a nightclub. Oh, the one where you were a dead model in a library. Oh, and that dead doctor at IKEA. I think that was my favorite.
Are you getting any service?
What?
I have like one bar. I can't even get Instagram to load.
Things have been kind of tough. I kept telling myself this week, you just wait because Sid's the best person to talk to about anything. So.
Sidney refreshes Instagram over and over, trying to load at Trent Rock God's profile. Sidney throws her phone onto the floorboard.
You want any snacks or a soda or some gum?
No, I'm gonna pee.
Interior gas station bathroom day. Sidney stares at the weird vending machine in the bathroom. Later, Sidney stands in front of a redneck cashier as he scans 10 cans of 9 Lives cat food.
$14.72.
Sidney pulls a $20 bill out of the envelope and hands it over. The cashier looks at her wrist. A row of thin white scars climb her arm. Sidney notices and pulls her sleeve down. Exterior gas station day. Sidney plops back in the car. Michael sorts through the
I
bag.
got barbecue corn nuts
I hate
and plain ones for you.
He passes her the bag of plain corn nuts.
I also got some waters, and I don't know if you still like this, but
Smiling hopefully, he pulls out a bag of Big League chew gum. Cut to Sidney chomping a large wad of gum as they drive. Exterior desert highway day. Michael and Sidney drive through the desert in New Mexico. Tyrone chows down on some 9 Lives in the back. Sidney stares sleepily at the road through her sunglasses as she stuffs more Big League chew in her mouth.
still no service.
No.
Why don't we play a game?
No.
Yeah! Remember that one you love? What was it?
I don't know.
20 questions.
What about the quiet game?
I'll start. Hang on.
Michael squeezes his eyes shut.
Michael, you're driving!
I got it. Come on, ask me a question.
Like right now?
Yep.
Did you start already?
Yes.
Fine. Is it a man?
No.
Are they still alive?
No.
Were they on TV?
Sidney tries to adjust the sun visor.
Yes.
Is it Lucille Ball?
How did you know?
Because you always pick Lucille Ball. Everyone does. She's like the Meryl Streep of 20 questions. I guess Meryl Streep is too. Actually.
Okay. You go.
Trent had a crush on Meryl Streep in that one movie, Doubt, where she played an albino nun.
I think she was just pale, not albino. That's actually like really funny.
Michael pulls a notebook out of his pocket and scribbles.
Sorry, I wasn't in an honor roll club like you, so I don't know everything.
It's not a club. It's just for good grades.
What did you write down?
Nothing. Did you pick someone?
Ugh, yes.
Is it a man?
Yeah.
Sidney tries to adjust the sun visor again.
Are they famous?
No, it's my neighbor Scott, who you've never met. Of course they're famous.
Do they have long hair?
No.
Sidney puts the sun visor back in its original position.
Is it Michael Bublé?
No.
Is it Hitler?
Whoa. How do you go from Michael Bublé to Hitler?
I was guessing.
Why don't you ask, like, are they alive? Did they date Emily Blunt? Were they responsible for the Holocaust? You can't just, like, launch into a Bublé Hitler Grand Slam.
Fine. We'll stop playing.
It's so hot in here.
Who was it?
John Wayne.
Ah, so close.
Oh my God, when are we gonna be there?
Let me see.
Michael pulls a folder from the back seat.
What's that?
It's our itinerary.
Sidney grabs it.
Did Mom send this? There's like a billion things in here. We're not doing any of this.
This is the same route we took when we rented that camper to come visit you.
What?
I was 8. I broke my arm. You said you were going to sign my cast when we got to LA, so I wouldn't let anyone else sign it first. Yeah. And then we got there, and then you said you were busy or out of town. So.
Okay, jeez. I remember.
Sidney flips through the folder irritably.
Mom has us staying in a Hilton in Nevada. That's like $150 per room.
That's what the money is for.
Let's stay with Ricky.
Our cousin Ricky?
Yeah. I'll send him a message.
Michael looks out the windshield with dread. Interior truck stop day. Michael stands at the register and looks up at the menu.
Do you have any donuts made with coconut or raw sugar? I find that processed sugar gives me migraines.
A cashier, 50s, with no teeth, stares at him blankly. Sidney pours a steady stream of sugar into her coffee. Her phone dings.
Ricky said we can stop by.
It'll be $3 for that coffee.
Michael?
You still got cash?
Yeah, but we don't need to use it for every little thing.
Michael hands his credit card to the cashier.
I will take 2 glazed donuts.
Exterior, dirt road, night. Michael drives cautiously along a dirt road.
I'm excited to see Ricky.
Sidney flosses in the visor mirror.
Remember when we were kids and he told us that drinking our pee would give us superpowers? I thought he'd be in jail by now.
I think he was recently. Oh, not for like a felony or anything. It was like misdemeanor assault or, possession.
Possession of what?
I don't know.
Technically, he's not even my cousin.
What?
Really?
Exterior, Ricky's house, night. Sidney and Michael pull up to his shack. The yard is full of rusty pogo sticks. Ricky, 40s, a Nutrisystem before photo, walks out holding a shotgun and a jug of Gatorade. Frame freezes. On screen, meet Ricky, Sidney and Michael's cousin, sort of.
Ooh, look who the cat dragged there!
Sidney runs out to hug Ricky. Michael discreetly pulls an RX bottle out of his pants pocket and pops a pill in his mouth before getting out.
Hey there, Sid. Oh, and who do we have here if it isn't the little pea drinker?
Ricky throws his arm around Michael's neck in a pretend tussle that Michael clearly hates.
I didn't drink it, I just pretended to so you would leave me alone.
Well, we'll just have to agree to disagree.
No,
What's with all the pogo sticks?
Neighbor down by the creek was just gonna throw all these things out. Do you believe it?
Why would anyone own that many pogo sticks?
Let's eat!
Interior, Ricky's house, night. Ricky, Michael, and Sidney sit at a shaky card table. Michael picks up the piece of DiGiorno on his plate and scans the room. The kitchen is littered with dirty lab glassware.
So what have you been up to, Ricky?
Oh, just keeping clean, Cooking. So, how long y'all can stay?
One
Is
night.
that okay?
Oh, sure, I got the guest bedroom all ready for you. You two will be the first to stay in there since Mom died in there.
I was sorry to hear about that.
Nah, it's okay. I miss her, but the settlement from the microwave popcorn people sure did help.
How exactly?
Who wants ice cream?
Interior, Ricky's guest bathroom, night. Sidney, in her ratty PJs, sets Tyrone down on a blanket in the empty bathtub. She sits on the edge of the tub and examines his paw. Michael, in his Ralph Lauren pajama set, brushes his teeth. Sidney rubs Neosporin on Tyrone's paw and wraps it in gauze.
Look at you, Dr. Sid.
Right, because the idea of me being a doctor is so ridiculous.
No.
Interior, Ricky's guest bedroom, night. Sidney and Michael lie back to back in a twin-sized bed in a room that looks like a set from Hoarders.
There's no way I can sleep here.
Yes, you can. Just close your eyes.
Oh my God.
What?
I swear, I saw something in that pile of chairs.
Did not go to sleep.
Later. Sidney snores as Michael lies wide-eyed. Michael hears a loud hooting noise. Hoo, hoo. He pulls the covers over his head. The noise gets louder.
Do you hear that?
It's probably just Tyrone.
Michael pulls the comforter down to take a peek. Two eyes glow in the dark. A possum sits on his chest and stares at him. He screams.
Ah!
The possum runs under the bed to hide.
We're leaving.
We've hardly spent any time with Ricky.
Michael jumps up and throws on his coat.
There was a marsupial on me.
Sidney runs after him. Exterior, Ricky's house, night continuous.
Michael, it's like 2 a.m.
There's a loud ping. Michael suddenly grabs his arm and screams in pain.
Oh my God.
Ricky walks over in full camo gear, a BB gun on his back. Takes a swig from a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Oh, shit, Michael, you okay?
No, I've been shot. Oh my God.
Oh, that's just a flesh wound. If it was a real gunshot wound, you'd be able to see the bone and all your tiny little veins pulsating underneath. Believe me, I know.
What?
Ricky pours liquor on Michael's arm. Michael screams.
I'll go get Tyrone.
Interior, Michael's car, day. Michael scowls as he drives.
He did that on purpose.
He was target practicing.
In the middle of the night. Now I'm injured and I smell like some sort of alcoholic transient.
Look, just because he made you drink it.
I didn't drink it! I wasn't that dumb when I was a kid,
You put deodorant all over your entire body until you were 12.
I used to sweat everywhere. Ricky is trash. I'm sorry.
His family.
Not my family.
Wow.
I don't.
No, I get it.
You're my family.
Barely. Everyone doesn't get set up from birth to live a perfect life like you, right?
My life's not perfect.
Sidney sees Michael dab his eye with his sleeve.
Are you hungry? Want some Chex Mix?
Sidney hands Michael a half-eaten bag.
Do you eat everything except the pretzels?
I don't like the pretzels.
No one does.
Fine, stop and I'll get more snacks. I don't want this to become a thing.
Michael takes the nearest exit.
I want lemon heads.
Interior gas station day. Sidney stands in front of 2 bathroom doors labeled does and deers. Interior gas station bathroom day. Sidney chews on her thumbnail and looks at Trent's Instagram while she pees. His timeline is filled with pictures of his new hashtag true love, perpetually topless Amber. She stops to look at her nail. It's bleeding. Exterior gas station day. Sidney pulls her sunglasses down and she walks out with an armful of snacks.
Who's that?
Right behind where Michael is pumping gas, she sees a woman in her early 20s with wild curly hair and 3-day-old eyeliner waving at her maniacally from the back seat. The woman chomps down on a Twizzler, frame freezes, on screen. Meet Barbara.
That's Barbara! She asked if she could ride with us to New Mexico. It's on our way, so why not?
Okay, so, Michael, she's going to murder us.
She just needs a ride.
How have you survived anything? Do you help people move furniture into vans?
Like friends?
Never mind. Look, I'm not comfortable with this. Tyrone isn't either.
Tyrone sits on Barbara's lap.
It's just a few hours down the road. Plus, she's on crutches. How much harm could she possibly do?
End of selection.
Up to you, yes.
Drew the short straw. Well, first of all, it's very funny. I will say there are a lot of times I read comedies that we pay a lot of money for and I don't laugh, so. And this one, it's a little out of my wheelhouse in terms of movies, because I don't do those for a living, but I do see them occasionally. I think this, I feel like with a road trip movie, with any kind of road trip scenario, the thing that you want to establish as quickly as possible is like that first like real escapade. Mm-hmm. And I will say that felt like for me the thing that I was waiting to get to. Mm-hmm. There was the only other thing that I would say like up top is one of the fun things about anything that sets people off on a journey, especially in a comedy, is the insane circumstances that lead them to believe that they must go on this journey. Mm-hmm. I wish there was a way that the mom and the setup of the inheritance could be a little bit more subtly worked in, mm-hmm. so that it's almost more of the joke versus, I think right now it feels a little convenient versus mm-hmm. being like a true, it's something she's been anticipating her mm-hmm. whole life. Like, Mark is dead and now I get the money. Like, right. let the circumstances lead you there versus just sort of giving her that. Mm-hmm. And I think the other thing, again, it's the first third, but the way that I always think of the structure of features is in that first bit of it, you want to establish obviously who the characters are, which you've done incredibly well. Like, I get a sense of them, but I think you want to get even more, even with a comedy, like a little peek more into what their actual psyche is and mm-hmm. where they're going, and you can tell that she's broken and he's broken, and mm-hmm. they've got different ways that their scars are hidden, but especially thinking about if there's a way that visit to Cousin Ricky's mm-hmm. house could elucidate a little bit more on what those are, and just let mm-hmm. that peek out a little bit before you tuck it back in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's, it's also just, you want to, and you're doing a great job of this, but I think the faster pace you can keep things, yes. the more antics, the more insanity. You're driving the farce train, which is great. You just want to keep that moving, so that when you do have those little moments of real emotional connection between your characters, mm-hmm. it's surprising. I think that the tonal juxtaposition is always interesting. Mm-hmm. in a comedy when you can just laugh your ass off, and then there's just a moment of real pathos, and that's a thing that people love. I hear from Fleabag. So thank you. That's great. Yeah, thank you. I have children. I don't see things in theaters.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I completely agree. I have to because Elise is here.
Right. It'd be so funny if you're like, no, you're fucking wrong.
No, I would never say that. I wouldn't think it.
That's right. That's right. Instagram feed.
There are a few people here who go to the workshop that I do. That's a completely shameless plug that I do a workshop. But the reason why we do the workshop is character connection, emotional connection, and right now we're doing a thing where we're trying to manipulate the audience. So I'm completely on board with the idea that laugh, but then give us moments. And I think, by the way, I think Jojo Rabbit, have you seen it? Yeah. I think Jojo Rabbit will stand the test of time as the perfect example of we cry harder when we've been laughing. And the ability to change tracks is the holy grail for me as a writer. It's my holy grail. If I could get you laughing and then hit you with something, that's awesome. I'm not saying that you need to throw in some Nazis and hang people. Okay. If no one's seen it, I'm not telling you anything. Where was I? Oh, the script. It was. I think it took too long to get on the road. I think you gilded the lily with her issues. I think it started to be after a while, because I really loved that Sidney as a character, and I liked the juxtaposition with Michael, and that they were kind of half family, and there was a bunch of dynamics going on under the surface, and I knew that later on all this shit was going to hit the fan. But I also, as I think I told you on the phone, when first seen she was a struggling actress, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be one of these struggling actress comedies, and it's going to be about the struggle to be in LA, and that she's hopeless, and all that stuff. And then fortunately you got away from that, which is great. I would love us to get on the road faster, because her life was, because I started to think about things. It's like, why is she going home if the house was flooded, and why is Trent there, and who's Laura? What's she got to do with anything apart from you wanted to do gags about a sex thing, and wasn't that kind of raunchy, but really didn't really have anything to do with where we were going, and it wasn't showing us anything. Again, as I said before, it didn't show us anything new about Sidney. It didn't reveal anything about her. It was a gag for gag purposes, awkward and funny, sure, but if it didn't have any reason to be in there, then I was like, why are we here when we're in a road movie?
Right, got it.
And we only ever saw Michael once, and we could have another moment with him on the way. When he's going to pick her up, like maybe he's trying to tidy up the car, or there's something that's revealing, how important it is that he's with Sidney. And you don't even need any dialogue for that. You could just have like, I'm sorry, I sound like I'm pitching, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, don't waste time unless it's important.
Okay.
Especially at the beginning, because then once they get in the car, and at Ricky's house, which is, awesome. Again, it's like the jokes are great. I mean, you write really funny, and it's really funny, and it just needs a little bit more. What are their reactions revealing about them that we haven't seen yet?
Okay.
Either about their dynamic together, or are they slipping into old models, or is this relationship, this time they're going to spend together, is it starting to unravel, or what? What's it? Where are we? Like, there's a bad Todd Phillips movie, road trip one with Zach Galifianakis and was it Robert Downey Jr.?
Due Date.
Due Date. Yeah, not one that I would necessarily recommend doing, but it was at least clearly established that they were really extreme. Like, I'm just thinking of farcical road trip.
Got it.
Comedies, I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously the vacation movies are the pinnacle of farcical, but like everybody had their own really clearly defined thing, and like Sidney and Michael, if I'm sitting here trying to, like what's Sidney? Is she uptight? Is she, obviously she's broken and disenchanted with life, and Michael is mourning his dad but really excited to see her, but also really excited doctor. Like, it would be nice if we just had a little bit more of just like, you know, I think what you said, just who they are, so that we're sitting there in the roadshow going, oh, this is going to turn to shit.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, she's that, he's that, yikes.
Right.
And what's the sort of thing they're not talking about?
Right.
Which clearly you have already kind of slipped in there. There's, you know, when he keeps saying we're not family, and I saw him take a pill.
Right.
And I love that. And I love the little moments, again, and this is what I tell people too, the details really matter. Like when she moved all the air conditioning vents onto herself. It's like that reveals something about her character, which is awesome. And so it's like it's us getting to know her in those early pages is really, really important for when you unravel what you're about to unravel in your, you know, insanity later on.
Yes.
But yeah, and I think if you get them on the road quicker, then you can sort of take a little bit more of a breath at Ricky's house.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely think you can spend a little bit more time there, but it's also hard not knowing exactly how you pace the rest of the trip and how many stops you're gonna make. But I think that again, the best version of those kind of movies, there's an escalation both in the hijinks and in the emotion. So like that first one has to feel like you're getting a taste and flavor of how the two of them are going to react to each of to the ensuing hilarity, and I think that that's also, you know, incredibly telling of how their characters interact and react and all of that stuff. So I also don't think it's a terrible idea to weave in the mom character a little bit more, especially because that's who you're traveling to see. So the more that she becomes like, even if it's just mythical and they're talking about her or whatever it is, but you know, just a little touch base and grounding of where they're going as you really get into it.
Also maybe Mark as well. Like we don't really know much about Michael's relationship with him at all, do we? And so, and that would be, we get a little bit of Sidney. Oh, and that's the other thing. Just for saving time, this is just me, my personal opinion. I'm not a big fan of freeze frame and graphic with arrows, unless they're like really crucial.
Right.
It feels like a device that it's like, you're trying to be cute. And I'm just like, you were cute enough.
Right.
I don't know if it was necessarily required. I don't know if you.
I mean, I have personal feelings in the same way. It's just, again, when you see it a lot, it's the same thing as voiceover. You just want to be, whenever you use a cheat, I think you have to make sure that it's worth using the cheat. So that's I mean, again, I developed a show that was almost entirely voiceover, and it's a total fucking cop-out. But it worked. It was called Mr. Robot. It was fine. He was talking to someone. It's okay. But I really do think it's like, if you're going to go into what can become cliche, you just want to own it and just be like, fuck this, you're gonna love it so much that you won't think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a
so we'll either drop it or make more of it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are definitely two directions. You know, like Handmaid's Tale uses voiceover, but it reveals what she can't say out loud. She's saying in her head, so it has a very specific purpose. But you don't use voiceover, so why are we talking? I don't know. Not yet, in the next job. This is me.
We've pitched something here. It's been good. Voiceover, all of it. No dialogue.
We're going to do next draft.
And also start at a scene and then say 2 days earlier.
The minute that I said that, I was like, fuck, that feature is definitely going to start that way.
No, my pet peeve, by the way, I'm going to say this at every single session that we do here. My pet peeve is the first time you introduce a character, they're waking up in bed, rolling over and turning off the alarm. I see that in so many scripts.
My two favorite cliches, you actually hit one of them, but in a joke, which is my favorite is reading the girl who's hot but doesn't know it yet. Because never in the history of the world has a hot girl not known it. Right. She may be like real fucked up inside, but she knows that she's hot. And then the second is the crying in the shower. It's like, it's just like, I mean, you're just like, it's just wet everywhere. I don't know. It's like, I'm crying.
It's the best.
Yes, I know Tony, who's probably gone. He does a lot of the reading for me. He's the one I argue with when we go. He hates the camera pans across the unpaid bills or the past due bills.
Well, they're broke.
It's like, yeah, right.
How else are you going to say
It's like,
that?
show us any other way, please. But you did a nice job with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the other thing, while I'm just giving you my 2 cents, was the freeze frames and the flashbacks.
Okay.
I know it was a funny line with the play with the plastic bag, but again, it's like, I guess, I mean, you're revealing something about the mother-daughter relationship, so I guess you could justify. All I'm asking is just, if you're clear as to why it's there and what it's revealing, then I'm completely cool with it.
Got it.
If you can sit here and say, oh no, it's there because of, I'm showing the audience this about Sidney, or the relationship dynamic that she has with her mum, so that when her mum's doing something, then you will understand it. I was like, okay, cool, I get that.
Cool.
But if I'm like, why is this here? Is it just because you're using it for a gag?
Right.
It's like, I would ask you to consider it, reconsider it. That's all. So,
thank you.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm very curious. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, really. Yeah, and coming back to the drinking Peter is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
But again, that gives you, it does give you an opportunity though when they're arguing in the car, because you felt the room when he wiped a tear, or he said something about you're not real family, or whatever the moment was, and then the room went, and everybody been up, and then you could feel them go like, and then you didn't really deliver us something like, there was a moment there where you had us, okay, we're getting serious now. You could have given us more of a peek.
Got it. Yeah.
And especially that if the ongoing theme is going to be that idea of are they really family, that's a great opportunity to sort of just kind of just give us that peek that it's like they really have really different feelings on what family is, and that's sort of what me as the writer is going to be exploring over the course of this movie. You know, like the subtext is, and all that kind of boring jargon.
Yes.
It just gives us a moment to be real, because that's the other thing I say in my workshop is never be afraid. Never be afraid to give the audience a peek inside the frame of mind of the characters. Whatever you're writing, because we really, as I said, we live and die with the characters, and if you're doing a whole bunch of stuff to characters and you're moving them around like chess pieces, if we don't know what it's doing to them internally or how they're feeling about it, you're losing an opportunity for us to really connect.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be great sweeping speeches where it's like, oh no, what's happening to me is really painful. Oh no. But you can give us little moments. Because one of the reasons why we're doing this thing at the moment, the workshop at the moment, is really recognizing the power we have as writers over the audience's emotional experience. And the idea and understanding that the audience is there because they want an emotional experience. They're like willingly giving us control over their emotional moments for however long they're spending in front of the TV or in the cinema. And yet, too many writers are writing scripts like, I have this story I must get out, and I don't give a fuck, so I'm just going to write the story. There's some middle ground there where it's like, how do I make my story impact someone who doesn't know me and hasn't seen any of this? And am I thinking about what I'm doing to my audience, and am I giving them a peek into what I want them to feel? Am I aware of what I want them to feel at any moment? And I really think that's a huge, because we are gods. We have complete power over whatever story we're writing. We can do whatever we want, which is awesome. And
within reason.
No, we have complete power.
Control the budget.
Yes. That power goes away. Yes. No, once we hand it over. But why limit yourself right now before anybody's telling you I can't shoot that?
Throw in 14 set pieces. It's fine.
Right. That's right. And then the aliens come down. No, but I mean, when you're at this stage, I liken us to being like the zombies outside the wall, and we're trying to get into the wall, over the wall, and because a lot of people will say, oh, but in this movie they did this, or in this, like, apologies to anybody who's a big fan of The Irishman, but if I wrote The Irishman...
I watched the first episode.
Yes.
Exactly. I fell asleep.
Yes.
I don't need to see the rest.
No, you don't. It took us three times. But if I wrote that script and entered it into a competition or showed it to you, you'd be like, I'm sorry, what the fucking hell is this? It's 3 hours long, and what the hell happens? And nothing's going on for 2.5 hours? This is garbage. And yet it's up for an Oscar. There are different rules for the people inside the game.
Right.
And so understand that. rather than be like, oh, why can't I write The Irishman? It's like, you can once you're inside, and you're Martin Scorsese, and they give you $100 and something million, or Steven's Alien, and they're like, you're a god, here, have money. But not now.
Right.
So, which is fine, we just have a different set of challenges. So I'm just saying, I think a lot of writers beat their head against the wall. It's like, I could write a better script than that. It's like, one of the big keys is really understanding the audience and making us feel stuff. And I read over 400 scripts last year for the various competitions that I ran. There is a handful, at most, that I could honestly say that I felt stuff at the end. That I was like, you know what, I really feel something now. I would say 15% of them started with the lead character waking up in bed and rolling over and turning on the alarm.
And then 2 days later.
And then 2 days later, oh my God. And another 15% panned over the bills. And it's like, you're just like, oh, again, the power. We have, if you got to go and see a movie or you're sitting down to watch TV, I'm sorry I'm ranting. I know I said not, but I am.
It's your soapbox.
I know, that's true. If you're sitting down to watch a movie or to watch a TV show, and the first thing you see is the character waking up in bed, rolling over and turning their alarm off. When you have so many other options to introduce, this is the first time an audience is meeting a character.
Right.
And it really matters. Really matters. And because again, you're being read by someone who's read 49 other scripts that week. And so as soon as they see character in bed, rolling over, turning off the alarm, they're instantly, their eyes glaze over and they're like, okay, I know this writer isn't really going to show me something new. Or maybe, but I'm already a notch into negative territory. Why would you do that? When you have an option of showing them something they haven't seen, and they're like, oh, wait a second, what's going on here?
Right.
So that's why when I say, get into the road trip, it's like, this is a show about these two characters in a car doing whatever the hell they're going to do, have some sort of emotional crisis and then resolution. Don't be afraid to get in there.
Right.
That's the end of my rant. Sorry. Is that okay? Okay, good. All right, we'll take a view. Ari.
Yeah, I thought it was super fun. I wanted to first say that I actually like the arrow comment. It reminded me of Arrested Development. I thought that you didn't just use it as expositional, you took it as opportunities to make additional jokes. So that's why I enjoyed it. But the one thing I was going to say is I wanted there to be more clues of like what Michael doesn't know about Sidney and what Sidney doesn't know about Michael, like their information. Does he know that that she only gets that money if she gets there on time? I mean, you kind of had a couple clues if he was texting someone and it revealed that, but I thought that there's like a lot of opportunity, especially if we're talking about the beginning of the movie, of showing, especially if you're doing voiceover stuff, like what do they not know about each other's journey, and that way that kind of can culminate as the road trip explodes inevitably, I'm sure it does.
Right. Thank you.
So one of those things where it's like, how's your job? She says, what are you doing now? He's like, oh, good. Where later on it's revealed he's been fired, or he's, the house is burned down. And he's like, how's Trent? Or in the inexperience, well, that's going well. He's like, yeah, we're having, like they both got their masks up, that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Anyone else? All right.
I think it's like a fun opportunity to make the discovery of Amber and Trent even more awkward for her. Like if she's dealing with something already awkward when she's getting into the room. Like I was thinking of like in Marriage Story when she's gonna serve it, but the kid's in the loo. She's trying to get the sister to like figure out how to, and it becomes like, oh, I have to deal with all these things, and now there's this extra thing. Like maybe it's the call, whatever it is, I don't want to pitch that, but whatever it is, like what's the fun, like making it even more awkward for her.
Yes.
Like she's on the phone with her mum about dead Mark?
Whatever it is, yeah, whatever works. But like suddenly it's like, I'm dealing with this, and then, oh fuck, I gotta deal with this now.
That's a great tip. Thank you.
Literally. Yes?
Can she be anything else but an unemployed actress? And because for me, that is my rolling over, turning off the alarm clock thing. As soon as I see that, because we've seen it so much, and I just feel like it ends up becoming very insider-esque.
Right.
And we all laugh because we can all relate one-on-one to that, but it almost felt like she could have been anything else, unless that's something that comes back later in the future. That is something that she has to be an actor because of this that we don't know yet.
Right.
But she could have just been in a failing job interview for anything, and that exit about what can I do differently next time? If I come back with all that, will I get that note? And you know, it's that same feeling that can be relayed without the actress.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, I think I'll tell you. I have one anecdote. I wrote a road trip movie about two people who go cross country, and the lead character is a TV writer, and he quits his job on page 1. And I had an executive read it and said, "No one's buying movies about TV." It's like, he read page 1.
Yeah, that happens.
And that was it. He was
That's
like,
a really good point.
Yep, no. And it was like, that was it. It was like no other reference to the entire movie. I just happened to set it
Like,
to
but
TV.
what about the aliens?
Right. That's right. I get it. Okay. If no one else, I'm not seeing any other hands. So good. Do you have anything? How did you feel about it?
It was great. I mean, I think, writing can be very solitary. So the things that I think are funny, it's nice to be like, oh, other people found this funny too. So I definitely could feel like, the energy change and parts where I definitely wrote down where things were like dragging. That's like, okay, well that could pick up. So it's really helpful, and it's the feedback is really good about getting into their relationship sooner. And I have gotten the feedback from several readers that it's a fine line between wanting to reveal, okay, yeah, here's their conflict, here's what's going on, but also kind of wanting to tease that out a little bit. So this was really helpful, hearing it and hearing everybody's feedback about what worked and what didn't. So I'm very grateful, and the actors, you guys all did an amazing job. It's a great opportunity. So thank you.
All right, Natalie, everyone.
Yes.